Good morning, you guys. My son and I are heading out to Walter RC Park. We're gonna check on the area there that they might have that we could do some monster truck racing. We're gonna run some RCs and generally just have a good time checking stuff out. Here's a quick look at the 18 scale course at Walter RC Park. 24 scale and 18 scale, but for the gauntlet we'll be running 18 scale on it. It's got some bigger rocks on it. It's got it set up real nice. Got this one they're about to start working on for the gauntlet. Got the off-road course here. Then in the back there's where the little monster truck area is. King of Rocks. And an oval course on the other side of this. So lots to do on this beautiful property they've got here. And then Dom and I are gonna run a few little minis while we're here. What?
It's not starting up.
All right, guys, here we are looking at the monster truck area up at Walter RC Park. This is what we came up here to check out. My son walked it with our little measuring walker wheel thing, and it's about 62 feet long. And we said we wanted about 70 by 40. 70 by 40 by 70 by 50, somewhere in there. They're at 62 feet by 28. So we're close, but Dave said he would bump this wall out another 10 to 12 feet over here and widen the space for us, as well as take off the ends of the piping so that we have a runoff if somebody's coming out hot off a jump or something. Or to load in so people can drive their cars in. That'll probably like into the starting areas or something. So yeah, there's definitely room here, and this is he said it's red clay that he's brought in for this section. So he's got an excavator here. He thinks this weekend they can probably actually start removing some of this, and they won't be able to pull the grass back yet for us or any of that right away. But I still think that you could do, they'd be tight race lanes, but we just watched some videos of racing and some of it was pretty tight. You've at least got 2 race lanes here that are 60 feet long. That, you know, 2 on each side, so you could go 2 wide, lane here and lane coming back, and you could do the same there. You could probably do, so that'd be 4 total. You could probably do 6, but that center one would be really tight, so I doubt we'd be able to do that, but I think we could at least do 2. We could definitely do Chicago style. There's options for right now, even with just this space that we have right here, to be able to do it. So they said that they come in here 4 times a year or so to do the weeds, and most of this stuff we could just pull up easy on a weekend and have it cleaned up pretty quick, because it's not that bad how they have it right now. And most of it, or it's small enough that it would be inconsequential to run over this. It just get chewed up by the end of the day. But the bigger ones that are problematic wouldn't be hard to pull out. So they said they could remove this, they could push this wall, remove that wall, let it be grass going out that way. So yeah, that's pretty cool. That's one stop for the West Michigan RC Monster Truck Series that we could do for sure. And so I've already kind of talked with him about how we'd do it and what I would have to do for them and all that kind of stuff that we've got going on in order to be able to use the space. But it's great because it gives us room around the outsides for putting tents and pit stations and all that. They've got power over there. I'm gonna zoom in. Over there on that where we can do charging. They've got water over here that we can use to water the track. They've also got power over by these tables over here on those poles that we could use if people wanted to go over there to charge. So lots of great options. Plus, if you have kids that come with you for $5, you can pay over at that booth there for them to be able to run cars on this course or run on the crawler course up here, or there's an oval track like I said earlier over there, or there's a mini track that they can run their 124s on, or their 18th scale over there. Lots of options that he has available for us. So this is really exciting. We're just one more step in the process. Hopefully we'll get something started up here, maybe get a practice 1 or 2 and get people excited about it in September and October. and get ready for a 2026 series. Excited to get started thinking about it. That's our main reason for coming out here. We'll just have basically a flat dirt spot to work with and add jumps. And they've already got these backflip ramps here and stuff to pull up for freestyle. Should be great. They're solid too. Kind of use the mapping that everybody else is using, but man, they use like deck boards. So those aren't going anywhere. They're solid. Solid. So we just have to put a little dirt up onto them so that you have a nice smooth approach like they did on this one. But we could move them anywhere we want on a weekend, put them in a corner outside of race lanes or whatever, and then fly them in. But pretty exciting. I got some Team Blue Groove Crush cars on order already. Gonna start working on some ramps. Travis said he'd help. Oh, I backflipped it off that. We were trying to backflip off this earlier and we just shot straight in the air. There it is, Dom. I got it. Just got to go up slow and then give it the final push when you get up. When you get your wheels on. Watch. Ready? Go. Just come up and then perfect. You can do it on this one in front of you where you can see a little better. Go for it.
We cut that out of the footage, right? We cut that out of
Oh, look at me go.
That never makes
That didn't happen, right?
the light of day. Doesn't
All right, that didn't happen. We won't show anybody. We're totally gonna show you guys. Oh, not gonna do big jumps like that for racing. There it was. There it was. Come on. The big jumps like that for the minis aren't gonna be something we do because they are hard to land on their wheels on a big jump. So we'll have race ramps that are mini approved. That should keep people on their wheels a little better. They do all right if you don't go crazy, but when people end up having to flip their trucks over all the time, that's no fun. This one's landing it pretty good though. All right, I did it. I said I was gonna black them out. I don't know, they might look better with the white, but I said I was gonna do it. It's an option you can always do. I just Sharpied it, you could paint marker it. I do like it black. Oh man, you guys, today's been a whirlwind. I am not at CCxRC Park anymore. I'm back home, but I just grabbed all my stuff and I'm getting ready to head up to Reaction RC, just pulling through the driveway right now. But it was a little muddier than expected on the courses there for what we brought. And so the main reason for going, we still accomplished, which was checking out the monster truck area and talking to Dave about possibilities for running stuff up there. And so that's all looking good on that front. But we're going to continue our day of RCing by going up to Reaction RC and have a little fun, hang out with my buddies, running some mini tiny crawlers.
Because I thought maybe I'd just end up in that situation. I'm like, screw it. Come on. Back bumper might screw you up though. Alright, you got it.
Look at that. Dana comes back and he just wants to clean up.
Where's Dana? They're ready to do that.
These rocks get moved.
Good line. All right, you guys. Well, today didn't go as planned, and I got a lot of RC in, but I did not necessarily get a lot of running footage for you guys to watch. But we did end the night at Reaction RC, and I drove my identity theft class 2 truck here, which was a copy of Weston Anderson's truck that he had with the Patagonias that did so well. And then my Red Cat Ascent 18, which these are just amazing trucks out of the box, and upgrade them a little, do even better. I don't know where I placed with this, not in the top. I didn't do super great in either this week. I did win last week with this one, and I might have with this as well. I did pretty good last week. This week I was just struggling, and but also rushing and talking. And Dana was there. I think that's the only footage I got was some of Dana's truck running, and maybe a little bit of Steve's truck running, his 4-steer. But overall, I was just hanging out. We were talking, and as I was driving, I wasn't filming my trucks. We were talking about the monster truck stuff that I'd gone up to Walter's RC park and talked with Dave about. And they had questions about classes and trucks and that kind of stuff. So we were just kind of shooting the breeze and running. And we didn't stay super long. We ran our trucks and we all left. So we were kind of in and out. And so, yeah, I didn't get much time to run these. I did run my 10th scale here at the house because I didn't run it at Walter's, and I'd gotten it ready to run with the gravel stage tires. I'd gone ahead and blacked those out, and they look great now, I think. At first I was like, ooh, I don't think I like it as much. I said all that smack talk, and then I liked it better with the white. And it looks pretty good with the black. Now that I'm not like just seeing it before and after, and you just look at the truck, I like it. That's how I like my trucks, with black wheels. So that was good. But yeah, we're just moving forward as much as we can with this monster truck stuff. I'm hoping that maybe next month we can do some kind of just a trial run, maybe in October, if we can't get something for September, and maybe do 1 or 2 in October if the weather cooperates here in Michigan. So for those, we'll just work with Walter RC and do it there as the place until I can kind of talk to other people and get things scheduled for what we do for the series. So I'm going to be working on rules, I'm going to be working on classes, that kind of stuff, what the events will look like. And it'll be probably in the rules, it'll state the different types of racing we might have, because in some instances I can see where we do qualifying like typical with still having practice. I'd still open for practice, then do qualifying and racing. But we may also just do practice and then do a round robin, or we may do practice, so we may do racing with a winner's bracket, or we may do practice racing, reset it all, do practice racing again. So I'm going to probably lay out the different formats, and then kind of based on turnout we have during a day, we'll dictate time and some of those things. And so the goal being to just get as much racing in as we can on a day, just hanging out, having fun, and racing monster trucks. So the classes that I'm kind of locked in on right now are going to be the LMT Mini class, which can be custom chassis. You can have aftermarket wheels and tires like J Concepts one, same with bodies. I'm pretty sure at this point we're going to allow removal of the cage instead of having to like kind of work around the cage. Don't quote me on that 100% yet, but it's one of those things we're taking off, anybody can do. And it's a free upgrade and modification. So, and we're not going to, I think links will be fine. We're going to keep shocks on axle, that kind of stuff happening with it. But different chassis I think will allow, and different modifications like that. But we are going to keep stock motor, ESC, those two things for the speed, and stock gearing. So axles, you know, different housings, whatever, that's fine if you want to do metal ones, if that's what floats your boat. If you want to do like the Trio or Hot Racing links that don't have rod ends and they're solid, that's fine too. We're just going to have a length limit. So basically we're going to take whatever the stock length is and make that maybe add a 1/2 inch just in case there's some weird oddity in a chassis or whatever. But we're not looking to really make that class too crazy. So we want the speeds to be pretty relatively the same, and then it's just kind of tuning for cornering and bouncing in that. 2-wheel drive class, that'll be like Stampedes and like the Gorgon and the Quake from Arrma. So Stampede 2-wheel drive, Arrma 2-wheel drive, monster trucks. We're not doing just any 2-wheel drives. They're going to be monster trucks that are big tired, preferably more of a chevron tread. We'll decide how much we want to make that a rule later on, but in the beginning we'll be lax because we're just trying to get people to show up and try it. And as that goes on, we may adapt that rule and say you can do 2-wheel drive, but you have to run these type of tires. Again, nothing set in stone on that. That's going to be a 2S limit on that class, and it's going to be open as far as motors because both of them come with brushless now. Traxxas and Arrma have brushless options, and we're not trying to make it hard to choose which ones, or if you already have one, have to buy another. You may be upgrade yours, but we're going to do a 2S limit. That'll help set the speed down a little bit. And because the Arrmas are 3S, but the Traxxas are 2S, whatever. Easy fix, 2S limit. We'll do a retro class. For the most part, we're looking at clodbusters. I think right out of the gate, that's what we're going to be looking at. I don't know many people that have stuff shaft driven. I do, but I don't know many, so we're not going to base our rules too much around that right now. We're going to be looking at clodbuster based for the beginning, starting just to get things going, just to keep it easy for people that don't know what they're getting into. And so we will make it available. There will be eventually rules for that, but for right now, if people show up with them, we're not going to turn them away. We're gonna speed check things and find out, like, we'll have a truck that we basically will run up against. I don't have a speedometer or gun to be able to radar them, but we'll just run side by side and see. We're just trying to keep them close to the same speed. And I think that'd be like for now, I think we'll probably do like a 17 pinion limit or something like that on the clods. It's not stupid fast, but it's faster. Allows a little modification. We'll keep our courses kind of tight anyway, so it's not a super advantage if there's not big straightaways. So there's that. Oh, big old Harley going by. It's a nice looking bike, actually. Pretty nice. So then we'll that'll be our retro class, and then we're gonna do pro modified. So we're keeping it pretty simple for the start. Pro modified will include the LMT 2.0 can fit within that. We're gonna put limitations on the wheels. I think for the beginning, if people show up running the stock, it's not a huge advantage, and there's not many options for them anymore. But the larger inner diameter of the first LMT, those tires, we'll let them go. They're not an awesome tire anyway, but we're really looking for more the 2.6 inner and outer diameter. We'll have a length limit, a width limit, and then a few other limitations going based on what other groups are doing. Probably a 3S limit on that, maybe 3, 4S, I don't know. Not stupid advantages when you're getting into that anyway. You're getting so fast and too much torque and some of that stuff when you start getting crazy with all that. And you're going to outdrive your truck, or your truck's going to outdrive you. So at some point, extra speed makes you slower on these courses. So because I know some of those trucks are geared for 4S now and whatnot, and so we'll look into that. Those are the things. I'm looking at everybody else's rules. Where do they have stipulations? What? But it's moving forward, guys. I'm excited about it, and we'll start getting some stuff on paper here. We're going to have to, I think for the beginning, some of the rules will be a little bit more vague until I have more time to really hone in on them. But I know people want to just get doing this and know what they need to start building. So I want to get at least some of the truck rules out. While that may not be all the race rules, how the timing and all that works, how replay is going to work for a close finish, all of that kind of stuff. We're just going to try and make it fair. And if it's too close to call, we'll do rerun it. Faster person wins. If you did it once, you should be able to repeat. So yeah, we'll see. But we're going to try our best to make them easy for people to understand and to come compete, and have limitations where necessary in the classes that are necessary, but then leave it open for people to be creative in other classes and figure out how to tune their machines to go fast. That's what the whole idea of modified is. Pro modified means you're doing modification to make it better. And I love to see the innovation with that. And then if something just seems like, well, that's way too out of left field, we're not going to allow that. That might be a running rule change in the next year. But I mean, Bigfoot and them used to push it even back in the day with the real trucks. And then they may or may not come out with rules against it or for it or whatever. So anyway, it was a way different day than I expected it to be. But the one thing that I wanted to get out of the day, I did, and that was to get to Walter RC Park, talk with Dave, and at least get one location kind of moving forward. And it's a great location. We could run some races there right now if we wanted. Be tight, but I've seen tighter, honestly, and run tighter. So would it be the end? And it would actually give us a couple options within that space that we could do. That could be pretty fun. So anyway, thanks for tuning in, guys. I know some of these videos are different. This is just, we're exploring and figuring out this RC thing and trying to do new things. And that means bringing new types of RC to an area that don't typically run these monster trucks here, and trying to find out a way to get people excited about it and want to come out and spend their hard-earned money on the trucks to come out and run them and all of that. So a lot to figure out, but you know, I'm game for it, so let's do it. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. As always, you guys, have fun RCing. We'll catch you next time.